Control your emotions and never beg for attention. Life is a constant test of your strength, your patience, and your character. The storms you face will try to rattle you, push you, and break you, but remember this: the power to stay calm in the face of chaos is your greatest weapon. Emotions are like the wind. They can guide your sail, but they should never steer your ship. You must hold the wheel with steady hands. Don't let your anger, fear, or frustration dictate your actions. True strength lies in the ability to pause, to breathe, and to think clearly when the world around you seems to demand an impulsive reaction. People may provoke you, situations may test you, but it's your response that defines who you are. And as for seeking attention, you don't need validation to prove your worth. The loudest voices often lack substance, while the quiet confidence of those who know their value speaks louder than words ever could. The world respects those who respect themselves. When you focus on your purpose, when you cultivate your talents and stand firm in your beliefs, you don't need to chase anyone's approval. So stand tall. Control your emotions. Let your actions be a reflection of your strength and your dignity. Let your presence be a testament to the calm within the storm. The world may not always notice you right away, but that's all right. True greatness doesn't shout, it simply is. Emotions are powerful, no doubt about that. They're the fire inside us, the driving force that shapes how we feel, how we react, and how we connect with the world. But like any fire, it needs to be controlled. A fire left unchecked can burn everything in its path, leaving nothing but ashes. The same goes for your emotions. When you let anger, fear, or frustration take the reins, you lose control, not just of the situation, but of yourself. You say things you don't mean, make decisions you regret, and create damage that takes longer to repair than it did to cause. But when you master your emotions, you become the one in charge. The fire no longer consumes, instead it warms, it fuels, it empowers. It's not about suppressing what you feel. No, emotions are not your enemy, they're your allies. But like any ally, they need guidance. They need leadership, and that leadership comes from your ability to pause, to breathe, to reflect. It's in those quiet moments when the world is pressing in, and you feel the urge to react, that you find your strength. You don't lash out. You don't let the situation control you. You take control, calmly and deliberately. That's where real power lies, not in the noise of impulsive action, but in the quiet force of self-discipline. When you master your emotions, you don't just survive the storm, you rise above it, stronger, steadier, and in full command of your life. Pause and think before reacting. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Yet, in the heat of the moment, it's the hardest thing to do. When someone crosses you, when a situation feels unfair, or when frustration boils over, the instinct is to react quickly, emotionally, and without thought. But here's the truth: impulsive reactions rarely solve problems. More often, they make them worse. There is power in the pause. When you stop, even for a moment, you create space to think, to understand, and to choose your next move wisely. It's in that space where wisdom lives. A rash reaction might feel satisfying in the moment, but it often leads to regret. A thoughtful response, however, is built on strength and clarity. Taking that moment to think doesn't mean you're weak or uncertain. Quite the opposite. It means you have the courage to not let your emotions control you. It means you respect yourself enough to weigh your words and your actions before unleashing them into the world. Because once spoken, words can't be taken back. Once acted upon, consequences can't be undone. So when life pushes you, don't push back right away. Pause. Let the storm settle inside you. In that moment, you'll find not only your strength, but also your clarity. And when you finally act, your actions will carry weight, purpose, and the kind of power that only comes from a mind that's truly in control. Stay calm in chaos. It's a lesson life will teach you again and again if you're willing to learn it. Chaos is inevitable. Storms will come, plans will fail, and people will challenge you. But the measure of who you are lies in how you respond when the world around you feels like it's falling apart. When chaos strikes, most people panic. They rush, they stumble, they let fear and frustration take the lead. But panic only adds fuel to the fire. To truly rise above, you must be the calm at the center of the storm. That calm isn't about ignoring the chaos or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about refusing to let it control you. Calmness is your anchor. It keeps you steady when everything else is in motion. It gives you the clarity to see what others miss and the strength to act with purpose instead of reacting out of fear. The pull of chaos is strong. It tempts you to match its energy, to fight noise with more noise. But the most powerful response is quiet confidence, the ability to stand firm, breathe deep, and let the storm pass without losing yourself to it. Remember, this chaos can't last forever. But if you stay calm, you'll outlast it every time. And when the dust settles, you'll still be standing stronger and more resilient because you didn't let the world shake you. You held your ground, and that's the kind of strength no storm can ever take away. Don't seek external validation. It's one of life's most liberating truths. You don't need anyone's approval to know your worth. Yet, so many spend their lives chasing it, bending themselves to fit someone else's mold, hoping for a nod, a compliment, or a moment of recognition. But here's the thing, when you rely on others to define your value, you give them power over you. And that's not where your power belongs. True confidence isn't built on applause or praise, it's built from within. It's knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of, even when no one else seems to notice. When you stop seeking validation, you free yourself. You no longer depend on others' opinions to feel good about yourself. You no longer chase approval like it's some prize you need to earn. Instead, you walk through life with quiet assurance, knowing that your value is inherent, not bestowed. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback or live in isolation. It means you learn to filter what truly matters. Criticism can help you grow, and support can uplift you. But neither defines you. You define you. And when you live with that understanding, you'll find that the people who truly respect and admire you are drawn to your authenticity, not because you sought their attention, but because you didn't need it. So stand tall, knowing your worth is not negotiable. It doesn't depend on the crowd, the applause, or the recognition. It's yours, and no one can take it from you, unless you let them. Quiet confidence speaks volumes. In a world full of noise where everyone seems eager to announce their achievements, their opinions, and their worth, there is something profoundly powerful about the person who doesn't feel the need to shout. They don't seek to impress others with words or grand gestures. Their confidence isn't loud, it's steady, rooted, and undeniable. When you carry quiet confidence, you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. It shows in how you move, how you speak, and how you handle life's challenges. It's not arrogance, it's assurance. It's the calm certainty that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of. This kind of confidence isn't given. It's earned through experience, through perseverance, and through understanding your true value. People are drawn to this kind of strength because it's rare. Loud confidence often masks insecurity, but quiet confidence is authentic. It doesn't demand attention, it commands respect. When you speak, people listen, not because you're the loudest voice in the room, but because your words carry weight. When you act, people notice, not because you seek recognition, but because your actions are meaningful. The beauty of quiet confidence is that it leaves room for growth, for humility, and for learning. It's not about pretending to have all the answers, but knowing you have the resilience to find them. It's about walking through life with grace, not to be seen, but to be remembered. And in a world of noise, the quietest strength often echoes the loudest. Focus on your purpose over attention. The pull of attention can be tempting. It flatters the ego and gives a fleeting sense of validation. But here's the truth: chasing attention is a hollow pursuit. It distracts you from what truly matters: your purpose, your growth, and the legacy you're meant to leave behind. Purpose is a steady fire, one that burns long after the applause has faded. When you align yourself with your purpose, your actions carry meaning. You're no longer swayed by the need for approval or recognition, because your focus is on the work itself. Attention comes and goes, but purpose gives you something far more valuable: fulfillment. Those who spend their lives seeking attention often find themselves trapped in a cycle of constantly proving, performing, and pleasing. They become prisoners of the opinions of others, always chasing what's fleeting. But when you focus on your purpose, you break free from that cycle. You work not to be seen, but because the work itself is worth doing. And here's the irony: the more you focus on your purpose, the more attention naturally finds you. But by then you realize it doesn't matter. What matters is the impact you've made, the growth you've achieved, and the integrity with which you've lived. So don't waste your energy chasing eyes and ears. Instead, pour it into something meaningful, something that aligns with your values and speaks to your soul. Because attention is temporary, but purpose is eternal. Respect yourself first. It's one of the most fundamental truths of life. How you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you don't value your time, your energy, or your worth, why would anyone else? Respect begins within. It's not something you demand from others, it's something you cultivate in how you live and how you carry yourself. Self-respect is more than just confidence. It's the choices you make when no one else is watching. It's the boundaries you set to protect your peace and the standards you uphold, even when it's difficult. When you respect yourself, you stop tolerating things that diminish you, whether it's people who don't appreciate your worth, situations that drain your energy, or habits that hold you back. Respecting yourself also means forgiving yourself when you fall short. It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest with yourself and striving to grow. When you show yourself compassion and hold yourself accountable in equal measure, you build a foundation that can weather any storm. And here's the beauty of self-respect: it radiates outward. People notice when you walk into a room with dignity, when you speak with purpose, and when you stand firm in your values. They sense the strength in your silence and the conviction in your actions. That kind of respect is contagious. It inspires others to treat you with the same regard and often compels them to respect themselves more deeply too. So honor yourself, not just in what you say, but in how you live. When you respect yourself, you send a message to the world: this is who I am and I am worthy. And that, more than anything, is a truth no one can take from you. Greatness is understated. It doesn't demand a spotlight. It doesn't need to shout its name from the rooftops. True greatness exists quietly, often unnoticed by those who are too busy chasing the noise of the world. It is in the consistency of your actions, the integrity of your character, and the impact of your work. When you live with purpose, greatness doesn't need to be announced. It simply unfolds, one thoughtful action at a time. Many believe that in order to be great, you must be seen, praised, or celebrated by others. They believe the world must recognize your achievements in order for them to be valuable. But the truly great know that recognition is fleeting, while the work itself, the contribution to the world, and the lives touched are what endure. Greatness is not about being the loudest or the most admired. It's about being the most authentic and the most consistent in your pursuits. When you focus on the essence of what you do, when you pour your energy into something meaningful, greatness will follow. It may not come in the form of grand accolades or applause, but in the sense of fulfillment, in knowing that you've contributed something of value to this world. The world may not notice your efforts immediately, and that's all right. What matters is that you've made a difference, whether or not anyone acknowledges it. True greatness is found in the ability to stay humble and steady, even when the world tries to lift you up on a pedestal. It's found in the quiet resilience that allows you to keep moving forward, even when the road is long and the journey seems uncertain. It's the strength to remain grounded when others around you are caught up in the pursuit of fame or fleeting moments of success. And perhaps most importantly, greatness is rooted in selflessness. It is not about elevating yourself, but about elevating others through your actions, your kindness, and your ability to lead by example. When you focus on serving a greater purpose and lifting those around you, greatness becomes a natural byproduct of that service. So if you're looking for greatness, don't seek it in the applause or in the eyes of others. Look for it in the quiet moments, the steady steps, and the lasting impact you have on the world and the people you touch. True greatness doesn't make a sound, but it leaves an echo that can last for generations.